2, 1. I read Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I hope I said that right. But this book is about a student who decides that he can kill someone and get away with it. He eventually decides to do it, and you know that just by reading the back of the book. But that's not the interesting part. In fact, when I first started reading this book, I thought it would be a mystery type of book where a detective and investigator tries to find clues and put them together to catch the killer red-handed. But this book goes way further than that. Instead, it focuses on what happens before and after committing a murder, the psychology behind it, and the mentality that a person must uphold to get away with it. And the answer to that is simply insanity. I mean, after crime, there must be punishment, according to this book. The protagonist is smart and detail oriented with his planning skills far more impressive than I ever realized. He poses a question to himself. He can kill someone he doesn't like. An rich old lady. Steal her money and get away with it. But should he do it? It's no longer a question of how to do it. That's the easy part according to him. It's whether or not he should do it. His book is incredibly well thought out, so much so that I found myself lost at some points. Because for a second I felt like I was inside the mind of a killer. It's very frantic and chaotic. There are so many thoughts that go through the protagonist's head that it's just hard to follow sometimes. But the more I read, I finally understood that he is very unreasonable, that this is insanity I'm experiencing sometimes. I'll be honest, I took a couple of breaks and then read it for several weeks. But after a murder, he feels like everyone is out to get him, that no one is trustworthy, and so he tries to be alone all the time. He desperately wants to share what he has done, but doesn't find the courage to actually do it. And so, after reading this book, I have a question to ask you, the viewer or future reader. If you had the ability to go and kill the richest or one of the richest people you know, steal their money, and get away with the murder, would you do it? I'll give you some time to think about it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you said yes, then that means by this book's definition or view, you're clinically insane or will go insane after some time. If you said no, then you decided to hold on to your morals, that there's something stopping you. And that thing is keeping you sane right now. Again, this is what I got from this book. It's my interpretation, but again, I didn't write this, so I don't know what the author would really say about it. But that's what I think. And I know this is a harsh way of putting it, but to be honest, the more I read this book and learned about the author's background, I found out that this book is extremely political. If you pay attention to the characters who have some form of better upbringing, or didn't grow up poor, you'll realize that all those characters suck or go insane, that they have something wrong with them. And after reading, there's some notes in the book and the introduction that has like a timeline of like everything that happened to the author and what happened during his time period or his lifespan. And he got arrested for being in like a political party, or like not political party, I don't know how to put it, but there's a lot that goes on behind the author, and I think they got put into the book like in some points. But anyways, in summary, this book is very thought-provoking. There are pages and pages filled with people literally just ranting their thoughts out loud, and I love that. I genuinely enjoy this because I get insight on the characters and they feel more real. There's a lot in this book and I would highly recommend it. There's a reason why it's called a classic.